I seeked help at the Carole's House of Hope after I had completed intensive inpatient treatment through the Stevens Center. And I was going through a process of reunifying with my youngest daughter, Raylyn. And at that point, I knew that I needed somewhere else to go. So I had reached out to the Carole's House of Hope, and they had accepted me into their program. Before that, my life was not a life. I was a drug addict. My children were removed from my care, and it was just a mess, really. Some of the classes that the Carole's House of Hope provided for myself and for my daughter were, we did parenting classes, which was amazing. I learned a lot of parenting skills that I was able to work with my daughter on. I also took a 12-step women's group, which was an AA and faith-based program. And it just helped myself and all the women. We built better bonds with each other. We were able to understand what our addiction was, where we were at in that time and in that place, and how we were able to work through them as a group and to feel comfortable speaking with one another and just understanding our triggers and what wasn't a trigger and where we could go for help. That was my favorite class here. We also had art class, which was just a fun class, and we would all, none of us were very artistic at all, but we tried our hardest, and at the end of the class we would all show our pictures and be like, look at what we made. And I bet our kids could probably do a better picture than half of us even did. But there was a lot of classes, just groups. We also have groups throughout the day and throughout the evening where we can all kind of come together and just discuss where we are at that point and at that time. But I like the groups here. They were a little hard to get adjusted to coming into the program, but at the end of it, I mean, that's one thing that I miss now, not being here, is the groups and all the women. The Carole's House of Hope, they provided me the skills to learn to love myself again and to be able to reach out and ask for help. And they allowed me to be comfortable in my own skin. Even on my bad days, doors were open, arms wide open. They were just there to accept me for who I was. That was the most amazing thing that I had gotten from the Carole's House of Hope. They worked through my feelings with me. They worked through whatever life problems was, happening around me. So that's the one thing that I can say that the Carole's House of Hope provided me with, was unconditional love all the way around for myself, for my children. That's the biggest thing that I'm able to take away from this program. So after transitioning out of the Carole's House of Hope, I was offered a management position through my job. So my day-to-day now is I get up, I get the pleasure of taking my daughter to school now. I go to work, and so I'm a manager at work, and then I come home and I'm able to cook for my daughter. I'm able to read her stories. We wrestle. I just got my daughter a cat, so we've got a new animal. But I have the pleasure of actually living a life, a healthy life. I do a lot of community service work through our community that my daughter is included on. So we do a lot of volunteer work through our church, and life is different. Opposed to when I walked in here, I didn't have a life. And now I get the pleasure to wake up and go to work and take care of my daughter and do the day-to-day normal things that people do, and it's amazing. If you're seeking or pursuing some way to help yourself or seek help from the Carole's House of Hope, my only advice would be, what do you have to lose? If anything, you have everything to gain from this program. You have amazing women around you that have gone through a lot of the same things that possibly you're going through, and they're here to help you. And at the end of the day, they will love you no matter what condition you're in, and they will help you to get to whatever level it is that you want to get to, and they won't judge you at all along the way.